Hey, Red Chili. Give me 1 second. All right, how's it going? Who's all here? I feel like I haven't seen or heard from you all live in a long time. Hi, Amy. And so, I don't really have anything specific in mind, but I just kept getting that feeling that I needed to come on and see how everyone was doing. Hi, Mindfulness Project. And hi, Gigi. Awesome. So, good morning, Florida Skywatcher. I've been trying to refer people to your channel because I haven't been filming as much. Well, that's not true. I still film several times a day, but I haven't been uploading as much. So, I'm trying to suggest some of you guys who have a great eye, who are seeing the same things that I am seeing, and trying to wake people up so that we can kind of understand what's taking place. And I'm starting to understand very slightly. Obviously, life is a mystery, and this realm is a mystery. And I'm starting to understand that, well, let me say, the rapture has already taken place. And I've been saying that for months. And it is a density change, it is a density shift that we go through personally. And so I've been saying all along that the event is happening now and it is ongoing. And that is definitely what we are seeing happen. And I see. Hi, Scott. Love to you. Did you get a chance to take a look or a listen to Pistis Sophia, second book? That's something that comes highly recommended to me through gematria and just through other avenues. You know how we're all led to the things that really bring us truth and peace through all the confusion. And that's something that I was led to over and over again. And wow, it really helps me to understand like the transfiguration of Christ, because you don't see a lot of that. You don't see, we always want to know, we want more details about Christ's life. At least I have throughout my whole life. It seemed so vague. But I think that there's a reason for that. There's a reason that there's all of these open-ended issues surrounding Jesus of Nazareth and that crucifixion in the New Testament. I know that I was raised Catholic, and I know that my family holds the New Testament in high regard and believes that the Pope is infallible. And I actually have a sister who works for EWTN. She is a nightly news anchor on the Catholic Worldwide Network. So it's pretty interesting. And she is an angel. I know she is just the most amazing little thing, but we come from parents who, my stepfather, like his parents are from Germany, and they went through the Holocaust situation, and I'm not clear on all of that, but there's so much confusion surrounding that, and who Hitler was, and what roles did he play, and was he actually taken over by extraterrestrials, things like that. So all of these things that have kept us suppressed and That's what the Great Awakening is about, is starting to get answers to all these questions that we've had our whole lives. We've all wanted to understand it on a deeper level, and we just weren't given the proper knowledge. And so many of us are coming across these things and it's resonating with us. Yeah, the church traps many angels and it makes me sad. Like, that's really why I came on today, because I believe that I'm possibly being painted as an antichrist, by the antichrist. Shocker. But where's the truth, right? So it's coming out now, and we just have to. Truth comes from the heart. And that's why our search and our journey is so important. And that's why, I could listen to somebody else speak knowledge and maybe only pick up a couple of pieces. And maybe some of the things I say don't make any sense to some, but others, are like, oh, that I've been looking for that understanding. So it all comes together, and I've had to hold faith that that is really what's taking place, that it is all going to work out. And I've gotten those messages that I've shared where, yes, there's so much confusion and so much deception right now all throughout the world. But through the love of Jesus, we will pull it together. We will, we will, we will end the confusion and live in peace. So, hi, Robbie. Hi, Emily. Hi, Crispy. Hi, Thoughts and Perceptions. Hi, Daniel Sun Music. Hi, Amy. Awesome. Really glad you all are here. Hi, Mia. Mikey. Where we go one, we go all. Hi, Alfred. Oh, man. I love you guys. Okay, I'm really glad I stepped on here today. I thought I'd go over a few of the really profound gematria messages that were coming through. So I'll just start, and then I'll show you some pictures, because I have all of my best pictures in one spot. Make it easy. So I hope you don't mind the black screen. We're going to do like a radio thing today, because I'm still having anxiety about the camera thing, but whatever. We'll move through that as well eventually. Yes. How are you doing, Thoughts and Perceptions Out Loud? I haven't been on YouTube as much lately, and it's been very weird. We know the algorithms have been all strange, but I 100% believe that it's a wash. It's like somebody threw all the marbles up in the air and they're coming down to land, and we just have to kind of gather them. I am really excited about the future as well, and that's what I see the Antichrist saying and treading on people's hope and the possibilities of the future. They're stopping the angels from dreaming again, from getting our aspirations back again, because I believe that we were put to sleep sometime like during this lifetime. Obviously, we've been asleep for millennia, but it's like we remember, like when we were young, we saw these colors, we felt these emotions, we understood, we were connected at the heart, and something separated us, and that was the beast system. That was the tactics that were put in place. Those were the lies and the twists on the truth that really, really, really put us to sleep to our reality and trapped us into the Saturn matrix. There are a lot of people trapped in the Saturn matrix right now. The Saturn matrix is shut, and there's a lot of people in there. That's why I really haven't been coming on and talking a whole lot, because I know that we're all where we're at. And like I said before, the rapture has already happened. Look around. It's not what we thought. Christ has already been here. Christ has been here. I announced that a while ago. I'm finding out that it's been since 2012 that they did return then, or at least the entity that is the Holy Spirit, which is the nemesis system, okay? She is Comet Ison. And this is how I resonate with it. So when I use words like her and um, the entity that is, I do believe that there is a higher entity that is Christ that embodies all of us together, all of us. You know, even the ones that are opposing it and fighting it. We are all part of the same body of Christ. Hi, Paula. Hi, National Memorial Gardens. Glad you caught me live. Hi, Awakening Soul Shedding the Deceit. You guys are great. Thanks for being here. Um, so, we are able to move through some of these strongholds that we were under inevitably, but that's because Christ returned, and that's because the photonic light from this being that I'm speaking of came back into our realm. Um, Now, I'm also understanding that we were cut off from the light through emanations that Saturn created. So somehow, I mean, it's literally like, I mean, I don't want to try to explain reality to others when I'm still trying to understand it, but like I said before, I'm getting little pieces of what's going on. It's like this is a realm. There are um, aspects of a projection of reality, but that doesn't make our world less real. We were cut off from the light with the false light, and it has something to do with Venus and the frequencies that Saturn had over us, the magnetosphere, the ley lines with the churches and schools and hospitals built right on top of the ley lines. Where 8 ley lines meet, golden cities will be born. So we've seen some of these things being cleaned out by the ether. And I've shown that. No one will talk about that. There's still so many, I mean, everything going on. I haven't even really been able to look. But if you notice, there are not a whole lot of photo images of what is taking place, overseas. There is not. And that is because what is taking place is the judgment of Christ. It's happening there, literally. And it's making me like, it's just like, wow. So I'm just kind of letting it all play out, they're going to keep lying to us until they can't anymore. And that's just, yeah. So, I'm wondering about the cathedrals. It's like they are going country to country and restoring humanity, to be quite literal. And I saw that it would happen in France first and in Ireland. And we're not getting any of this news. And I'm having a hard time digging for it myself. So if anybody has any accounts of what I'm speaking of, that would be great if we could come together and understand this while it's taking place. And that's what's going on, is the Antichrist is trying to distract us from the fact that Christ has already returned. Okay, that's Comet Ison, Comet Haley, whatever. She goes by so many names. Well, just for, to cause confusion, she's given many different names. And I say she and I say Christ because I am being shown that the Holy Spirit, Queen Inanna, Queen Tiamat, is the primordial creator. That is the morning star that was created to self-create this emanation, or not, no, it's not an emanation, this reality. It is. It's like a supercomputer of God. No lie. But it's way beyond our comprehension, and to call it something like that would just be a misrepresentation. So I don't really have the words right now for it. But we are very much connected and being reconnected, and I believe that it has everything to do with our Kundalini awakening and the physical change that we've gone through. We're moving from the Saturn magnetic hold that we were under with all of these things that I said were in place, and we are the divine spark. We are the divine spark that allows for this transformation to take place. So um, the electrical spark in us is overriding the bullshit. Hey, Andrea, haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you here. Hi, Fernando. Great to see you. Stonehenge, yeah, that's interesting. And I think that when I started this channel and I was reading the Hopi prophecy quite often and trying to understand that, I was starting to see where some of the old creations were coming back and some of the monoliths were changing. And that's one message I just got. If you look at the Sphinx, it's really never the same, it's constantly changing. Uh, from what I understand, the cube of Mecca is locked and sealed underneath there. And that is how Saturn is sealed right now. So it's embodied in these higher beings. And I want to say, too, because there's a lot of information, confusing information surrounding the entity that's Lucifer, and that it's some great male angel, and that it's like, I don't even know the names, but it's complete bullshit. Some of those are fabricated, and it is the Holy Spirit, and it's not one and the same with Satan, because that is another agenda that I see kind of trying to poke its ugly head out. It's not the same. It's not a second, like another side of the coin. It's not. Okay, let's put it this way: they're brother and sister. Brother and sister. Satan and Lucifer are brother and sister. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is Sirius, the morning star that I just spoke of. Saturn is Saturn and Satan. So we can clear that up in the coming days. But, truth is truth, and then like the rest can just be thrown out, really, in my opinion. Yes, the Catholic cathedrals, or all cathedrals, are built on intersecting ley lines. And this is Thoughts and Perceptions Out Loud, Melissa. This is like where I was wanting to get to you and Rosie, because I saw the work that you were doing over there. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting these messages that mean so much. And the purple kept coming up around that time. So, I know we're meant to connect. And there's all this confusion that's like keeping us from connecting. But see, we're getting there. I can't wait to see what you're finding on that. Because the message that I got was where 8 ley lines meet, golden cities are born. And I've shown you that um, on past videos, which I'd be glad to go over again. It causes me to be highly blocked, which, is what they've been doing. And I think that's how some people ended up on the side of the Antichrist, just purely trying to survive. But that's what the beast system is about. And that's why we have to go through that dying to this world, regardless of what corners it puts us in. Yes, our belief causes everything they put out. Yes, scientists say, right? But they need our power to create it. Yeah, so they're going to keep creating this. So, I was thinking about that last night, Mia. I was wondering if we created the storm that is going on. It's like with all the fear and the confusion, and I see people like Mr. MBB on there, very in a very like crafty way, creating fear. And at the same time, trying to announce that Christ is here, but it's more like the truth in plain sight thing. He's like, I don't know. I'm tired of all these guys playing stupid and then not having a listen to what we have to say. I think it's bullshit. It's annoying. Hi, Divine Sight. Let me go ahead and read some of these really interesting things. A lot of them are on Jupiter and kind of properties of Jupiter and maybe what to expect helped clear a few things up for me. Angels aren't in the sky for nothing, that's right. All different species of angels, all of her creations. I'm so excited to see them. They're coming closer and more clear every day. The light is so intense that I'm having trouble editing, but I just kind of take that as I'm not really meant to. Everybody can see what's going on up there, right? One Jupiterian is more powerful than legions of devils. Yeah, I've started ignoring the silly channels finally. I don't know why. I felt like I had love for the people that facilitate those channels, and I still do, and I always will. And I felt, I feel that they're, like I said before, we're all brothers and sisters, regardless of who we decide to serve. And I want them to have, like, they need to know that there's this sickness in some people that can only be cured by the Holy Spirit, by our primordial creator. And it's just, some just are refusing to, I guess it's like a pride thing, and they're just willing to take it to the end. And nothing scares them. It doesn't concern them that their soul will be like deleted from creation. Like, they don't care. They think they're too evil. The people that, the really, really icky people, I'm not talking about people that run channels. I don't know anything about any of their personal lives. And even if I were to get messages about that, I don't think that I'm here to publicize that. That's not really, I don't know. And we all have darkness. I have just as much darkness as most people, honestly. But I've been able to work through it. I've been able to kind of rectify it. Hey, young Niels. Hi, Love and Grace. It's sad. I'm just so sad. Like, but the people at the higher levels, they're doing horrific things, and it's an addiction, just like anything else. And, Satan is the god that eats babies. So I get tired of people trying to stand up for Satan. No, he's not such a bad guy. He wants sovereignty for humans. Bullshit, okay? He wants to eat more flesh. He wants to drink more of Christ's blood. No, I won't even. But I feel that anybody that's like perpetuating those, narratives is serving that at many levels. And those that serve murderers are, they have the blood all over their hands. And I've always felt that way with everything throughout my life. And if we were to do some of the things that these others are choosing to do, we would be jailed and prosecuted. And, so it's just not right. It's completely twisted, and it needs to stop. Oh, yeah, no one single person. And I think that that's like another thing. Yeah, thought form. And that's something too. A lot of people have their strong beliefs about what things are or are not. And so it's hard because those are frames of references that we all have, and we're all trying to understand these things. But I have to say, don't let it take away. There's things on many levels. So, like, absolutely, it's a thought form. I agree. So when I say, like, when I come out and I say, oh, the Antichrist is doing this or that, I had a close friend say to me, well, I think the Antichrist, we have some of that in us. And I'm not denying that. I'm just kind of like, as above, so below. There is something that represents that. There is one thing that represents that embodied. Hang on a second. I'm recording. I'm live. Okay, I'm working. So The devil is coming out to fuck with me. All right. See, this is what happens. No, you guys don't understand. I'm not going to go there. We're not going to go there right now, but I do have things that come in and try to fuck with me and stop me. Still, very slightly. Very, very slightly. And I need to not give it any energy. That is how I healed. And that's why you see me going to the opposite end of the spectrum. That is where you see me like balls to the wall, because that's what we came here to do. We came here to change this messed up energy. Yeah, you can kill the other side off. So, I mean, I believe that. And it is very much, I just really truly believe that there are higher entities that represent these things, and that embody them. And there's nothing that can make me believe otherwise. Of course, it trickles all the way down onto every level. And that's really what I'm trying to understand with realms. And I bet a lot of you understand it better than I do. But I think like with the rapture type thing, how can we coexist with people that are still seemingly in a 3D world when our densities have changed so much, and why are they not noticing? You know, there's so many questions, and they really do trip me out if you really want to know. And I have to process these things for a long time before I even try to speak on them. Hi, One Hot Minute. If they don't get the message now, then they will get it later on. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think so. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, it's just like they're going to try to stop the truth from getting out. They're going to paint anybody that's putting it out as crazy, which we know doesn't work really that well anymore. So, I mean, I try to not make myself look too crazy because we are. How could we not be? How could we not be, right? I'm so happy you are all here. I think the algorithms are switching for the better. We're changing them, we're changing things. And I want to believe that it is all in the ether at many levels, because that means that we can have this thing that's oppressed us inside. We can have those blockages removed. And I've seen that physically happening in me, but it takes time. They put this narrative out that you have to force it out, you're going to die, there's all this. I'm realizing that that is 100% the process. Your whole body goes through some really intense stuff, but that's the beginning of the transformation. So don't buy into any of those narratives. That is a really huge thing. That is something I feel I should talk on much, much more. And I have no shame or embarrassment when it comes to what I went through with the physical change, and still am going through. Let's see here. The Matrix. Yeah, it's in the ether. I mean, we can see that. Hi, Zeus. I liked your message this morning. I saw it in the title. I didn't click because it just felt like I really needed to come on here. So how cool is it that you guys, how far away do you live from each other? Are you close to each other, sisters? Because I see that you all get to meet up once in a while. I think that's so awesome. I'm going to keep reading here. The matrix in which we live is projected. Oh, I didn't know she was live yesterday. Hi, Leland. Aw, I'll definitely take a look and see. I bet, we're not getting notifications, but I used to check for her throughout the day. So now that I know that she's going live, I'll definitely keep an eye out. I love Dolly Daydream. Sister, for sure. The matrix in which we live is projected from the realm of thought into a vortex within a three-dimensional cube. So I'm not going to elaborate on that, but that's just there for anybody that might be able to make sense out of that. And let's see here. The United States will end all wars in all theaters and bring all troops from all bases home because the Messiah was revealed and needs protection of his loyal army. So that's pretty deep, many different levels. Again, that's what we're talking about here. This stuff is happening on all levels, right? Cube is the earth symbol. Interesting. And so we do have the power to write the book going forward. As I understand the details myself, or as some of you that understand it better than I, and I can meet minds a little more, there will be more on it. But essentially, writing your thoughts down and writing the change that you want down has a lot of power. Hey, Scott. Hi, the other Scott. So it has a lot of power, and obviously we want to be pretty clear on that. So I'm trying to become clear on what needs to take place for the best and highest good of everybody. Keep it selfless. Yeah. So that'll be interesting. I think that in order to get to that place where it does hold the power that it should, we have to be in alignment with ourselves first. I don't think that power is really necessarily there until we are in more of an alignment and clear understanding. Hi, KB. Just ask. They are waiting to help you. The martyred ones are powerful. Call them by name. We all know an invisible whose blood was shed. The Most High sends. And then it speaks a lot about these, like they're children of Aries and the Arians, and then there are spiritual Arians of Jupiter, and how a lot of that has been twisted also. More to come on that. Lots of Christians in hell who didn't make it, they continued to sin and they lost their gift of grace. The 10 Commandments are a thing, you guys. That is real, and that was given by the goddess to Moses, and it's been completely twisted. So those are the Father's commandments, actually, after all. But many are teaching that is not the case. And a lot of us felt relieved, but that's because the Catholic Church bastardized everything. If you get back to it, it's just universal law. It's just universal law. And so, hang on a second. Until then, you don't have to move in. Is it okay not heated?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get some water? Mm-hmm. You will be. Okay, thank you for holding. But something really interesting, I'm just jumping off topic here because it keeps coming up in my head. I don't see chemtrails anymore. I understand that. So I'm starting to understand that some of us are raising in frequency and literally raising in planes on the universe. So, you know how it was said by Magenta Pixie that we appear as a distant star to the archons? Well, the sun appears, as a star, the biggest star. And now we know there's the Trinity up there: Mercury, Sirius, and Jupiter. But there is a golden sun disk, and it is correcting the matrix right now, by the way, which is really exciting, and I can feel that. So, but these appear as distant stars because they're actually beings. They are beings. That's like the soul of the being. We have that same bright sun inside of us. It just appears differently, and it's growing. We're baby suns. We're literally baby suns. So, we're raising in vibration, we're raising in light, we're raising in so many different ways. And I think that we're actually raising on planes of existence. And I think that's how the rapture is happening, and it's ongoing. And that's why many stop seeing chemtrails and start seeing the heavens open up above them and the colors changing. Bye, Crispy. Thanks for being here. And so, literally, we're like raising on planes. Book of Amos, does it speak about that? The ringing, that I wanted to share that with you all today too. It stopped for me. It got so intense like 4 months ago to where I literally sounded, it felt like the way I would have described it, it was like two different dimensions in my head. And literally that's completely subsided. I feel freaking great. But each day I feel better and better. So it just, how it improves a little bit each day, a little bit, each day, a little bit. Hi, Rebel. Much love, brother. So, yeah, and we know that all planetary spheres are realms on Earth. And Sophia carries all of the planets underneath her dome. But focusing on just the fact that planets are realms on Earth, that's why you can see Jupiter, but it's still a realm. It's above the matrix and it connects above the matrix. And that is what God is. It can be, God can be the matrix we live in. So Jupiter is handling that. Oh, hi, Gigi. Yeah, I hope you're having a great day. Yeah, the ringing in my ears, I mean, obviously I can hear like frequency changes and things like that, but there's no strange buzzing or ringing, or all the weird sounds in my head have really calmed down and evened out. So we're totally going through this upgrade, and it does pan out. The energies do regulate. They 100% regulate. 25 years. Have you tried there is a Reddit tinnitus cure, and I did it. Actually, like a couple of years ago, I found it and I did it, and I really haven't had any strange issues. Look up the Reddit tinnitus cure. It's really good. It'll really help. So, anybody having the ringing, or if it's something you've dealt with your whole life anyway, check that out. It's great for relief, even if it's temporary. But I've seen people show accounts of being completely cured of their lifelong tinnitus from this very simple Reddit tinnitus cure. The migraines, they're passing, right? So I think that that has to do with raising in density, raising into new realms, raising onto new planes of existence. I have seen myself on a plane of existence during meditation years ago. It was one of my best, like what I imagine meditation should be. I don't reach very often, but I literally could, I felt and saw myself on a plane of existence connected to everything. And it was very matrixy, and I didn't understand it because I did not know about any of this stuff. I still had the only the Catholic reference, and I've seen messages about their wild, like, imagination with clothing the angels and heaven's fashion, and how they've just totally misconstrued it. And I think we're about to see that now, aren't we? Best believe it. The kingdom is near. The kingdom is here. How? Waiting to realize the kingdom of heaven hurts us from seeing it all around us. So, a little bit of a strange typo there, but you kind of get the gist of it. They shall no more hunger nor thirst, neither shall the sun fall on them, nor any heat, and God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes. Saturn's north pyramid is sovereign and mimicking Jupiter. That was interesting. I got that really late last night. David Bowie. So many clues in the David Bowie. And like he just appears kind of devilish or like Luciferian or something. But yeah, guess what? He is. Like, guess what? He's not devilish. I believe he's an incarnate, a Christ incarnate, like most of us here, if not all, right? But a very powerful Christ incarnate to bring messages. And it says here, David Bowie and we'll dance under the moonlight, the serious moonlight. Something's going on with the moon, the blue moon, and I have seen the ring around the moon since 2012. I have seen this quote unquote sun dog, which I know to be the Taurus field of God, of goddess Tiamat, I'm finding out. Comet Halley, Comet Ison, goddess Nemesis, Planet X is the star Sirius, and she's up by the moon. So the moon and the sun disk are apparently, the light comes from the same source. And that's kind of, I've spoken about that a lot. I put it in my last two outros about how, quantum physics shows us that everything is emanating from one point of light. And that's another way we can start to understand the realms and how we're all like part of this big realm. And how I just can't, the blue Kachina. Exactly. And the red Kachina is Betelgeuse, also Mercury, also King David, also, Star of David, all of that. It's a Lyrian star, and apparently it's the soul of a being, a higher being. Hi, kitten. Let's see here. Yeah, and again, I explain how they really threw people off with the Luciferian and Lucy. Yes, they do. They absolutely worship the Holy Spirit, the goddess, but it's the occult, and they don't explain that to people. And so when they're called Luciferians, that's because, and I've even heard like Lady Gaga say, Hail Lucifer and stuff like that. Well, it's a joke, but it's the occult because they know they're worshiping the proper thing. But obviously, they're going to pay the consequences for hiding it from humanity and twisting it. Yeah, the star is also the Merkaba. So when we see the Taurus field around it, yeah, that's the energy field. Ganymede is a satellite of Jupiter. So some of these things are considered technology because they're God technology, and that's something that we'll have to try to understand. That's why they came in with all this transhumanism stuff, and that's why they're trying to paint some of us that are going through the transition as, I don't know what they're trying to paint us as, but it's kind of sick, you know. Transhuman robots made by the Illuminati and stuff like that. So, hi, Violet. So, there's a whole bunch of narratives out there. And KB, thank you. When you say that, it makes me like keep going. Like, you're one of the ones that helped me to keep going because I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that I didn't really feel well and that I had to do something and I wanted to share what I was learning and I wanted to understand it more. So YouTube allowed me to do that and I'm grateful for that. Facebook was shutting me down and not allowing me, you know, a couple years ago, a year and a half ago. So I kind of just switched over and I haven't really looked back and it's been really interesting, but yeah, it's been good. And although they won't monetize me, it never doesn't surprise me. I never really wanted that. That's not what I'm here for at all. But it speaks volumes. Yeah. Gaslighting is a spell. Absolutely. Absolutely. Have I been dreaming? Yeah. Hey, Seven. I have been. Hi, Janet. Great to see you. Hi, Crystal. Something is up, Crystal. I have to go in my settings because I don't know why I can't like your videos either. So I've been trying to reach out to you. I love you. I love you. Just so you know, I love you. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. What was I about to say? It's important. Yeah, I've been dreaming. So I see that the marriage between Sirius A and Sirius B, you'll love this, Melissa. The marriage has happened. I got a message a while ago that said the marriage that we've all been waiting for with this twin flame marriage coming together. I mean, again, so many different levels. One major level is us star seeds on Earth, which we must be Sirius A? I don't know. And then Sirius B, the marriage, like our twin flames are the sun. I believe my twin flame is that blue sun, Sirius, the spiritual sun. And that somehow with our kundalini and our electric divine spark that we have reconnected, and that is the marriage. And now we have the sign in the forehead, which we do. It's there and it's ever changing. It's something that changes. It's a gift from God and it's light language. And it's not something that you can easily see, but you guys, it's there. And so when that took place around Easter, and obviously we're all integrating it still, it's like the energies are there. It's like they always have been and they always will be, right? Like we are starting to understand how time works and how we individually can kind of just meet it where it's at. And literally, once that happened, I also saw that we've gotten our dream realm back. And that's where, in the fourth dimension, in the dream realm, was where many things were being manipulated. Literally, they would go in and try to make accidents happen and everything. I mean, this is how they were I don't know, but this is how Saturn was manipulating individuals, um, things that happen. So, yeah, manipulating the subconscious, literally. As sorcerers from some kind of a locational realm. And I don't understand that, so you guys might understand that better than I, but I can feel it and I can sense it, and I know that's ended and that we have our dreams back, like our sovereignty in our dreams is back. So that has a lot to do with Saturn being sealed shut and all of that. Nice. So I think the rapture is taking place and ongoing, it could lead up to really cool events. I think that there will be a day of the Lord, no doubt. And that's what's being prepared for. That's what we're being prepared for. My higher self owns I am now one with the second mansion called, oh wait, I'm mixing stuff up. Okay. My higher self owns I am now one with. So that just leads to what I was just speaking of. Around the throne were 24 thrones. I absolutely see that up there. I mean, I've been able to show objects behind the veil. There's still a veil there. There's still that veil that will probably roll back like a scroll. I don't know if that's the Han purple veil, if that's what, I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's something that I spoke on a lot. But I know that the aurora borealis is all throughout the world right now. That is the North Pole. She is goddess Nemesis. She is the North Pole. She is the aurora borealis. That's the dragon with all of the stars in her. And I think I'm getting reports that, and I remember when this happened in about August, I saw Comet Ison. I saw the green comet up there. And B, I saw that many of the stars had shifted or were gone. Well, that's because they came down with her, a third of the stars. And then I had people saying, well, those are the fallen angels. No, idiots. Sorry, that wasn't nice. It's a third of the stars. So that means there's two other thirds. So, like, do the math on your own. Make it whatever you want. You know what I mean? Han purple is Mercury. Very well could be. And guess what? Mercury. So I'm getting all these messages about Christ's new name. Like Zeus needed a new name because Zeus is Marduk. Marduk, Jupiter created us with Sirius. That is who created humans to experience as them, for them, to be the eyes and ears. Apparently, she's like Helen Keller. She actually experiences through each of us. And so I've been wanting to put that out there that, yeah, Zeus is Marduk, but he's got to clear his name up because there's so many lies and so many misconceptions. And that is what Saturn definitely took hold of, came in, usurped, changed us, changed our energy frequencies, changed our access to God, essentially rewired us. And, so Zeus's name will be cleared, and the new name that I see, Jupiter we know is also Christ. We know the Father, the Son, Holy Spirit are all one and the same. Somehow we don't some of you might understand that really clearly, but so Jupiter also represents Jesus Christ, and Marduk. So his new name is Jesus. Maybe I should look. Hazius hydrogen. So remember how we always heard Jesus H Christ? Did anybody ever know what H stood for? Apparently for Hazius hydrogen. So why is he hydrogen? Because he's fire. So spirit has always been in fire. It's a lot different than we thought. And I'm not really clear enough to speak on what that means, but I wanted to put it out there. Yeah, the sun, exactly. And that's Mercury. Mercury is also representative of the sun. And I've seen you wouldn't want to live on Mercury, but it's Mercury is the son of Revelations. King David. I'm really confused on that one because are we Mercury too somehow? I don't know. Son of Revelations. Fire cleanses, exactly. Hydrogen, water, father. Nice. Jordan, yeah, you probably understand that. So I just want to put that out there so that maybe I can understand it a little better as well. I see it a lot. Zeus is king of Jupiter and was father of the Judeans. Thanks, KB. Love you. Um, You don't get downloads. No, I was wondering the same thing, Loving Grace. I had that feeling for quite a while. Just keep trusting the process. Like there was a time where I was just like, what is going on? Like my whole brain felt shut down. I didn't feel perceptive at all, whatsoever. But there are many amazing things happening. Usually that's when the brain is rewiring itself from the wiring I just told you was manipulated long, 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 long ago before we were actually born into this particular body and incarnation. It was already put into place. So it's being rewired, the two sides of the brain together. And it's obviously a process, but it is a bit nerve wracking when you don't know what's happening and you're just getting all of these scary narratives. And I've spoken about how you will see that a lot of the channels don't touch on those narratives. They might put a little like tidbit out there so you go searching for it, but a lot of these guys won't even do that anymore because they know, and I know firsthand how damaging those suggestions can be to people's lives and physicality and process. So there is, hi Amy Joe, RH negative blood. From what I understand, RH negative just signifies probably, yeah, some of the original tribe that was here. But I think that everybody's DNA and blood is changing. So I don't know that it can be measured like that, but I do understand that somehow ancient ones were able to incarnate in RH negative easier, possibly. Um, but I don't think that it's like anything to use to define a whole lot. Yeah, there's a lot of info out there, and I think that with that, I don't find any really reason to focus on it too much. Obviously, we can see that many people that are, I mean, it does have something to do with lineage and bloodlines for sure. But I really feel that the photonic light coming in and this change is just making us all one again. So any of those things that separated us before are being remedied right now. And, many RH that came in might have been some of the first phase and second phase people to wake up. I think maybe that's really all. Blood transfusions, yeah, they want your blood. Don't do it anymore if you can help it. Constantly called to donate. Yeah, you guys don't give them your blood anymore if you can help it. I mean, it's fine, but you know, yeah, they treasure that. Yeah, keep it. They've stolen mine as well. They've stolen my son's as well. I am completely familiar with that. Absolutely. And that's because they're, yeah, I mean, makes me crazy when people do those ancestry things. It's all a setup for sure, but it's okay. Whether you did or didn't do it, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to affect you personally, I truly believe. From what I can understand and see, if they wanted like your particular blood for some reason to clone you or something, like they took samples of the elect's DNA to make clones when they were born, type thing. So it's not like they're scrambling and trying to get it. I mean, that's probably, I mean, they might be building something with it. I don't know, but they're obviously using it for nefarious purposes for themselves, whether they want to consume it for power and a high, or because they are addicted and drunk on blood, or yeah, I don't think they're creating too much of a database. Like they already have all of our numbers. Do you know what I mean? So I don't even like, but yeah, they want to know who's who. I'm sure they do. Yeah, so Don't worry about that. But yeah, I hear you. Yeah. But see, that's like another thing that they just kind of hang in your mind, that just kind of hangs there, and you're like, oh, like they're going to come get me in the back of your mind. They can't. They can't. You're on a higher realm than them. You're literally ascended above. They can't even reach you. So fuck them. You know what I mean? But they want to be like you, so they will try. Yeah, for sure. For the pharmaceuticals, interesting. Therapy. What's that, sweetie? Um, Love. Start looking into other therapy. Interesting. Oh, urine. When I first was breaking out with all of the really crazy stuff about 2.5 years ago, and that's when I was looking into 5G because that's when it first came out in Florida. They recycle these narratives over and over, and nothing changes, by the way. Nothing changes. And it makes me a little crazy because a lot of people think that these, especially guys, are like really good guys. Some of them are like running for mayor, and they know that it's bullshit. They know. So it'll become more and more clear for everyone to see. Join Jilly. Okay. Okay, I'm going to jump over to a few more messages and then we'll look at some pictures. And thank you for being here. I'm really glad that I came on. But yeah, like when I was breaking out with all that stuff, I was totally freaked out, and the only information I could find was more scary, and it definitely caused me issues, okay? So, oh, Leland, thank you for being here. Hi, Dolly. Yeah, it's all going to be okay. I'm totally with you there. I mean, yeah, I'm totally with you. It's beautiful. Things are becoming more and more beautiful. And that world of darkness and fear and all of that, that's locked. And those people are like locked in there. Like, I don't even know what to do. I'm sure we can pull them out, but we're literally ascending beyond that. We're literally on higher realms. Like I was saying before, we appear as a distant star to some of these things, on different levels. So, however, you can kind of understand that and integrate it. Again, trying to understand it myself, but I'm seeing it, I'm understanding, I'm sensing it. How we are literally physically on, raising onto new planes of existence. Yeah, see, Love and Grace, you definitely sound like I felt several months ago. And it's like each day became more clear and physically and mentally and otherwise. And so, yeah, just keep doing whatever you have to do to get through the moments and the days. It totally gets better and it totally becomes more clear. And I do feel better than ever right now. But it wasn't easy, I can promise you that. But it does take a while. So when I was doing a lot of the reading up, and after I had found, really, really started the physical awakening process a couple of years ago, and there was all this information about 5G. Of course, I didn't know what to think. But now I know, and I see now that everybody else is going through it. You see the different phases. You see the C. auris fungus is like a worldwide thing. Yeah, because that's part of the process. And then you get the biofilm all over your body. And then, we'll get it all together one day. And then you purge like weird stuff, like millions of triangles. and things that look like broken teeth and crazy stuff, right? So we just pushed through all that. And when I realized that, I gave myself like a good year to improve. And I did everything I could to stay in peace and to get better. And that included supplements and just following my intuition. And really, more than any supplement healed me, finding truth. It was like these landmark healings. Like I would find some truth, and it would be like a one up. So, yeah, I know, Leland, right? Thank you. All right, let's see. We got some other cool messages, and then we'll look at a few pictures. Sorry. Sounds like I have a cough, but I really don't. Just, I guess, clearing up stuff. But yeah, I feel really good. I feel very clear. I felt like I shed some sort of an implant that Tony Taylor had some insight on a while back, and it made sense to me that I possibly chose to take some sort of an implant to forget so that we could come to this point. And I think that I've shed most of that, physically and otherwise. It's been wild. I have a whole section of things that I need to... Oh, see, Dolly, I'm like trying to find the motivation, but I also don't push myself. But I'm like, wow, it's not quite time yet, but I can feel like it's almost time to start like working out again and really get out there in the world. Things do seem to be working out better day to day. I see the messages that you won't fall or stumble when you run. You know, God has your back. We're literally one with God now. Hi, Cosmic Cowboy. Yeah, it's almost like we're getting a new spirit. Same soul, new spirit. We're the soul of the new spirit. That's what it means to be, I think, brought back to life in Christ. And Jesus raising the dead. And giving us a new spirit. Okay. What can I find? Okay. Oh, here we go. This really helps me understand it. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, yes. And the unknowing hates the knowing. Ignorance hates truth. So anyway, that was one. Yeah, please do, Mia. That would be great. I can't wait. I'll look for it. Interesting. So this was one that came up. Blood, and this is almost like as if the Holy Spirit is talking directly to me to try to describe her form, his, her, slash, whatever form. Blood runs through your veins. That is where our similarity ends. Blood runs through your veins. Bye, Red Chevy. Thanks for being here. Hi, Lisa. Occurrence, capital of us, could be near Denver, an extraterrestrial city. So this is, again, about the points of light that are coming and being laid down, which I've shown you with the church fires The golden cities in the ether are being laid down. Shambhala is going to descend. Tiamat is coming back together. That is an insight that I have been able to come to through my work. I see actual pieces. So when people are like, there's debris and space junk up there, that is Tiamat in the ether coming back together. I just got some word from Tony. See, it's so great when we can really meet up, but it's hard. But when we had a small conversation last night, she was like, wait, I know about Tiamat, like a deck on Tiamat being blown up, and like she had some information on it. So Tiamat, Queen Tiamat is the Holy Spirit, our primordial creator. And somehow Tiamat is coming back together. I have Moldavite, which I'm wearing now, which I wear all the time. I believe that Tiamat is made of Moldavite, and that when it was blown up, that's how we got Moldavite on Earth. So people think that it's some sort of a space rock, because it is. Yes, she's also our Mother Earth. Yep. I highlight who she is, all the different entities. It's 1,000. Christ is has 1,000 names for the same being. Yeah, staying grounded, that helped me so much through the intensity, and still does, is to just go plant your feet on the ground, barefoot outside, straight up. And also to peek at the sun. It has so much information. When you meet people to sun, it has so much healing information. And then you integrate it, and I promise you'll see. You'll see. A law of star navigation: thou shalt not interfere with indigenous gene pools. So again, what we were talking about, it's so funny how we talk about it and then I read off the message that totally fits. Yes. Okay. Satan is the Abrahamic god, and his enemy is Anubis, the Egyptian jackal god. I see her. I see the Lyrians and the jackal. I see that jackal god. She put her mark. Okay, I'm just gonna find it because I gotta show you this. This is crazy. Here we are. Okay, bear with me. Hi, David. Welcome. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm keeping it interesting or anything like that, but I just felt the need to get on here and put out the information, and like whoever's in and out and stuff, I think it, we'll all hear what we need. And oh, let me read this off. I will let them slander me until the end of their indignation. Freemasons, witches, and Jesuits are all working together. One Jupiterian is more powerful than legions of devils, and you will not be allowed to come in and corrupt Jupiter. That's all. Okay, moving on. And then people are saying that somehow that's me not looking at myself, but that's not the case at all. I don't like humanity to be oppressed. Good witches, bad witches, absolutely. Absolutely. Hi, Clear Blue Jay. David, thank you for helping confirm it with me. Yeah, I might be a good witch, or, I probably could be a bad witch sometimes too. Who knows? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Like, bear with me, guys. I'm putting you on my table. I had you on black, like we were doing a radio show, but now I'm going to show you some really interesting stuff. If you give me just a second. photos, albums. Yeah, we all have dark and light, that's for sure. Yep, in the beginning, we really spoke about that. And how a lot of this is happening in the ether and how we're clearing it out. And that's like kind of one of my messages to some of the people on the perceived opposition from me, okay? I do think that there is a darkness that is oppressing humanity. We all know about this. And I do think that it has to stop. And I do think that that lives in each and every one of us, as well as is embodied by beings that used to have more power than us, only because, you know, they used our power against us and whatnot, but it was sorcery. And there's still a lot of that taking place right now. And so I just straight up like want that to stop on all levels, internally and externally. I want it to stop. So I'm actually taking measures to help stop that. This is just time for the oppression to end and sovereignty to completely begin. Bye, kitten. Love you. Yes, love it. Okay, quickly, I'm going to show you something. Make it worth it. Make you guys come in here worth it. When I edit and I crop, it saves them all here, which is really great. And I want to show you the jackal god. It's quite interesting. Thanks, Leland. Oh, this was such a pretty one. So interesting. But these are the planetary spheres, and they're sentient living beings. Dolly, I heard I missed your live stream yesterday. I'll have to make sure like my notifications are on, because I've been missing you. All right, guys, hang on. Let me find this jackal god. So cool. The colors are insane. Right now, I believe that we are literally in the midst of a nebula, a Sirius nebula, to reset. And how, you know, how we were talking about Sirius being the second spiritual sun, and the sun is correcting the matrix. I think that's definitely a part of it. Not just Jupiter, but Sirius, our primordial creators, the mother and the father, so to speak. Nice. Oh, good. You're coming on tonight. Wonderful. Yeah, the flat earth paradise. See, that's where like, you know, I'll go see what he's saying. I know that he had a few issues with the 5D and ascension. And I personally just, I'm having an insight that he didn't explain himself. He didn't really say what he meant when all of that was coming out. So I'm just standing up for him without even knowing what he's saying. But I just really think that he might have misspoken as a misrepresentation of his feelings, to just feel like it was just another layer of lies. And you know what? I'm finding out that that's not completely off. It's not off. Like, I listened to what he said back then and it shocked me and I didn't like it. But now that I'm listening to some of the people, some of the main, like the forerunners on like YouTube platform that really, really, really spoke on this, I'm seeing the inconsistencies. I'm seeing the lies. I'm hearing the agendas planted very, very, very deeply. And so I think that's what he was speaking of. And I mean, he's not wrong, but we just have to listen to our heart. So really, we can watch and listen to anything. And I think this is where Dolly and I are like both on the same page with this. I hope you know that I feel this way too. Yeah, we can listen to and watch any and everything, and we really should. 10:44, cool. I love that time. And we really should. And just use your heart, because that's where truth comes from. So you really just have to listen to your own heart, and you can take pieces and truths from everywhere, and that's how we're going to pull it together. Yep, discernment. So that's Sirius, the binary blue sun. That was a few months ago. I've been photographing this. Oh, and I see the red Kachina right next to. You see that? It's a blue and red Kachina. That's Betelgeuse. Mercury, apparently, also. That's right. I agree with that. And I think like where some people were having a hard time with me, it's that I'm like, Jesus is here, Jesus is back, Christ is back. Literally. But if people don't know to actually look and see, they won't see Sophia. And I hear many of you helping people to understand that. I'm so grateful. Like Christ, Jesus is actually, it is all of us embodied, and it's somehow reflecting above. And, you know, I think we all were on that same page, but I think that we're just understanding it at deeper levels now. And I see them all the time. And I see ships, like individual ships. So I don't think it's just thought forms of the gods or thought forms or reflections of us. And my whole series on the holy fires at the churches proves that. Anybody can take any picture from the news and put contrast on it, and they will see the same thing that I'm seeing. It doesn't matter our frame of reference. It doesn't matter our understanding. It like is what it is. It's there. So it's in the ether, but yet it's physically there. So it's been really interesting. It's been really, really interesting. Yeah, I had other points, then I'm just kind of losing them. Let's see. The jackal god. Oh, you guys, see, this is what ooh, yeah. This was like 3 months ago. And I don't know that everybody could see this when I showed it. But I mean, I haven't seen anything really. I haven't seen a whole lot that clear since then. But wow. Wow. And so the Virgin Mary, or not the Virgin Mary, the Immaculate Conception was artificial insemination done by extraterrestrials, FYI. But she is all about, she's a serpent god. They're serpent gods. Apparently, Zeus is the only one that's not somehow, so we'll find out more. But that's nothing to fear. Obviously, we've been made to fear it. I remember a dream that I had of snakes surrounding the house that I was in when I was like, I mean, it was the first dream I ever remember. I was so young. And I woke up feeling comforted, but I could never understand why I wasn't afraid of a pile of snakes surrounding the house. Now I know it was just protection. Like we've been protected since the beginning. Saw a lot of this recently. I think this is when maybe the rings of Saturn were being No, I don't watch Jeffrey Doherty. Are you serious right now? Can somebody erase that? No, no. Ew. Here we go. Yeah, no, definitely not. I don't recommend Jeffrey Doherty's channel. Never, ever, ever, never. That's one channel you don't want to listen to for bits and pieces. No, I'm just kidding. You can listen for bits and pieces, but use your heart. No, definitely not. He's got me blocked. He's had me blocked for months for trying to announce the return of the Kachinas. He's just another one that's keeping people locked inside. Oh, okay, thank you, Amy. I'm just about a quarter week, so I apologize, and I will definitely get to it. And I'm going to, as soon as I can get my equipment to take all the pictures from my emails, I'm gonna, yeah, use your heart with that guy. And please, mm-mm, mm-mm. But I hear what you're saying, Thoughts. I'm just like letting you know. My last message was buffered out. Which one? Do you know what I was talking about? When I was announcing the Kachinas arriving, when I was announcing the two witnesses on Earth, he called me a drunk Jesuit. That let me know that he was hiding the truth, okay? He hides the truth and he keeps people locked in Saturn Matrix. And people in Saturn Matrix can't see what the fuck I'm talking about. And they might never. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. Damn, Ken. No, and I feel bad, but it's something that's really been shown to me very clearly, or I would not be so vocal about it. And I do get messages that I am supposed to share this with people. And of course, I always say make your own decisions, but that is probably one area that I would never really suggest. And he knows that. He knows that. He knows that. It's all good. I mean, I apologize if I come off as harsh or intolerant, and that is something that I'm working on. I need to be much more tolerant of people that are going through their own process. You know what I mean? I do. I do. I know that. I know that. But I also don't want my brothers and sisters to be led down the path of staying asleep. To be awakened in Saturn, you can't see outside of it. All you are dealing with is false light. You don't know. You don't get to see the colors. You don't get to see all of the things. You're not ascending up past beyond. So, yeah, no doubt. Yeah. What's up, love and grace? Like, all I do is watch this, though, you know, and my heart is here doing this for the greatest of all, the best and highest good of all. So I'm not necessarily biased to the truths that are presented to me. No, you're right, Thoughts, because well, and that's the thing. I watched these things for a long time and it kept me confused and I was trying to understand it. And now that I've been able to like discern for months on these specific things that I actually do come on here and talk about, and I try not to speak about individuals too often. I really do. But I have seen the damage that it's doing. I've watched the damage and I can show you. I can show you. In fact, I did post something a while back showing what the people in his chat room were saying, and now I'm blocked, so I can't really give my 2 cents or anything there, but it was intense. It was intense, and like what it's doing, he was speaking about not accepting the spirit that resurrected Christ, okay? He's like, no, you tell that. And then he had somebody in the chat room who I recognized as a complete troll saying, no, you tell that spirit to get the fuck away from you and you don't want anything to do with it. And you know, just crazy stuff, crazy intense, famous as I do on his stuff every day. Okay. I know, I'm sorry. It's not that he pisses me off, it's that I see I see the damage that it's doing to the people. I literally see where these people have been put in a place and they're wicked. I mean, I don't know. I'm hoping that the etheric darkness in smute and transform. Okay. Yeah. That's what I hope. But I do. I piss people off with my opinions on this, but it's like, I do feel strongly because I think that there's a reason I'm watching it so closely for everybody. And then I went through it first, kind of thing, you know? Wow, these things change, you guys. These change. Lisa. Yeah, it helps. That's why. But you're just in your own process, and it's like we're at the same level, but with different things. Do you know what I mean? So that's why we got to meet up and share our insights. And I apologize if I offend anybody with my, it seems like hate or intolerance. But it is a strong desire for humanity to be set free and for people to find their personal sovereignty like I did. And like I'm sure that you guys are all there. But I see the damage that this is doing to people that are just waking up. And that's why it's been put into place. And I do feel like a bit protective in that sense. Like I didn't go through this shit for nothing. You know what I mean? I didn't just, I am qualified to speak on it. I went through a total transformation. I'm still going through it, of course. So never ending process, ascension, never ending process. But yeah, holy shit. I definitely feel qualified to speak on most anything to do with this transformation and this ascension, quote unquote, especially the physical changes and obviously the things that we're seeing in the sky and the colors and things. Yeah, and I'm still trying to understand it. Yeah, my thing is, it's like I feel like a lot of people were in place from the beginning, and that hurts my heart because I see them holding tight and not evolving with truth. And like I've been holding out to see a lot of these individuals to like find, have the ever evolving experience that I do with truth. It's exciting and it's beautiful. And I don't see it. I see people getting more wicked. Oh, love and grace, same. Did you ask a question? I missed it. I'm going to go back. About not having headaches anymore and this, that, and the other day. And then I got hit with that crazy, literally when the moon was out that night, it was the most intense energy. I had to lay down. I felt that like hangover feeling that I've felt so many times throughout the years. Now I'm understanding it. And, intense headache and, yeah, just almost the nausea at the same time, and the whole thing. Then I'm finally accepting that that is the fire of the Holy Spirit upgrading us. That is her fire. That is the fire of God in us and around us. Bye, John. Love you so much. You guys, check out John's free album, What a Service He Does to Humanity. Beautiful music. And he just released a free album that you can download, and it is fabulous. So anytime you need to pick yourself up, jump on over to his channel and definitely keep that on your playlist. Which I also have playlists on YouTube I've been meaning to mention. So check those out, and I'll probably keep adding to them. So I have so many. And if you look like Thoughts and Perceptions Out Loud, if you look at my playlist, I just deleted Jeffrey from one of my playlists because I was like, oh, that was like months ago, and I was looking for truth, and I found it through things on his channel, but like my heart fire also told me, like, so please don't listen to me all the time. Listen to your heart. No, but at this point, I think that some of these guys are just so lost and so unwilling to evolve with the truth that makes me sad, and I don't think that it's a good energy. So, okay. The Jack. I'm going to show this to you. Hang on. But I see what looks like chemtrails sometimes, that it's actually huge tentacles and wormholes. So I think that some of these actual beings and actual ships that we see, the plasma Merkaba ships and stuff that we see, are actually traveling through wormholes. And I got the message, the wormhole of Lucifer. That is the Holy Spirit. I don't care what anybody says. That is Satan's sister. People are trying to say it's the same, a different side of the same coin in a way. But, the truth of the matter is, archetype wise, and however else you want to look at it, it's a separate entity altogether. And it is a misrepresented one. And that is where Satan's lies make telling the truth very difficult. But I'm going to keep telling it. I'm not going to stop. It's a very uncomfortable situation. That, and like things like Morgellons fibers, and, things like vaccines that truther channels don't want to talk about. Yeah, they need to get over that shit. For real. Because it's not what they say it is. It is the crystalline DNA transformation. This is a gift from God. That is the fire from God. We have magnetic holds leaving. Flesh is magnetic. That's how we've been magnetically manipulated by Saturn. I don't know. We'll understand it much more, but that's how we've been stuck. Where flesh is literally matter. Matter is magnetic. So I've known that this was an electromagnetic shift for a long time, and still trying to understand what it all means, of course. But clearly, we are physically shifting from less magnetic to more electric. Saturn is magnetic, Jupiter is electric. We are the divine spark. And so, it's the light. It's the light coming in. It's the photonic light filling up our cells and our bodies, holding more of the light. Maybe to balance out the matter. I'm not really sure yet. And some of you all might understand that. Yeah, I've got my child's homeschooled as well. Which, I have to go in a few minutes so that we can go and do our things. But that's the beauty of it. The beauty and the sovereignty of it. And that's the way it was meant to be. Oh, man. I have thousands and thousands of pictures, so almost there. Not always easy. Nope. Ooh. Oh, Seven was here earlier. Okay. And I was making this video for Seven, but then I kind of got lost in the mix with everything. And just a lot started happening around that time, so I never got to complete it. But this is what I'm talking about. What do you think? I mean, this is a dragon up there. This is an etheric dragon. And the story of the dragon is about Humpty Dumpty coming back together again. And I told you earlier about Tiamat coming back together. So somehow the dragon's realm is coming back together, but I see the etheric dragon very, very clearly. Hi, I am Monica. I love you. The head of the Sphinx was actually Anubis. Yeah. Yes, you're completely correct. Absolutely. Exactly. Exactly. I had a message that the narcissistic will only ever see it as a lion and that might is right. It was a little bit of a jumbles one, but it made sense to me. But you're so right. Yes. Okay. Whoa. I have Mandela affected, you guys. Holy shit. Dang. This is 7 Spalding. And yeah, there's etheric dragons in the sky. So, wow. These are Mandela affected straight up. Because when I first pulled these out, I saw, look, see that? Is that the magnetosphere that's being ripped apart? I think so. Or it's the aurora borealis that Dolly Daydream discovered. Like, she helped me put those pieces together so much. I am so eternally grateful for you, Dolly. And I've given you credit so many times, and I noticed that you're blocked from those videos. It's so annoying. But yes, the aurora borealis that the dragon brings with her. Yeah, they purposely demonize the dragon. Thank you, Jordan. Yeah, exactly. So that's exciting. She's a sweetheart, and she loves us so much, so there's nothing to be afraid of. Okay, so that was 7 Spalding channel, and yeah, wow. Wow. That was a few months back, a couple months ago. And literally, yeah, that's when things really started becoming clearer. Northern wind, aurora borealis, exactly. So she's the queen of the north. She's the goddess nemesis of the north. She is the North Pole. We are the dragon they fear. Yes, wins blood. And so do all of the slain ancestors and gods that were oppressed and everything else. So that is, the RH negative blood does hold the blood of these ascended masters that were tormented and tortured here on earth. So I don't want to discount that completely, but I believe that we're all coming to that place again of sovereignty and godhood. Whoa. Again, these are 7 Spaldings that I should have made a video with, but you see, they have changed over time. Either that or my eyes have become more adapted to this realm. That's something that I'm trying to understand, because when I look back at these pictures, I see it so clearly, and I did not see it that clearly when I first edited these. So yeah, that's the tail of the dragon right there. And I have the tail of a dragon. I'm going to show you that too. Oh my god, it's like a Lisa Frank dragon. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is also 7. Yeah, my vision has become so clear. More in old pictures. So I was trying to understand if it was... Yeah, and I totally agree that it all starts within, but until we unlock what's inside of us and our DNA, and like you all understand, and like Questions Out Loud speaks of quite a bit and understands, then we can see that the kingdom of heaven is around us, and it's the same kingdom of heaven that everybody else will experience. It's not a different, like, we are transcending death, some of us. It's really trippy, okay? It's really trippy when you really start to realize what's taking place. And I knew it would happen in my lifetime, but it still trips me out. It's like, this is crazy. So the kingdom of God is a place of its own. It is a place that we are able to see because we unlocked it and we did the work and we kept faith. You know, can't go in properly. Yeah, Dolly understands this the way I do too, I believe, where you have to kind of like seek all around, and then you can start to try to make sense of it from within. And everybody has their own process, but that's been mine. I searched for answers and I gained a lot of knowledge on the way, and I worked through a lot of fear on the way, you know? A lot. Oh, crap. Now, I think that the people that are still asleep, quote unquote, I know for a fact that many, 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 many are going to be saved once the Holy Spirit really shows up. This isn't just the people that have done the work. It's also for the innocent that have been completely, hi cats, go nuts. It's also for the innocent who have been lied to and controlled and made to control. The ones that think might is right. I just had to explain a situation to my mother. She has a friend whose husband has had like his third or fourth DUI, or probably third DUI, and long story short, is looking at 10 years in prison for manslaughter. And I tried to tell her that things are changing, and I don't believe that he's going to spend 10 years in prison. I believe that he's going to have a second chance and that he's going to be able to do good with that. But I had to really go into detail. She's like, well, it'll be up to the judge. I said, yeah, but you have to remember who the judge is in the courtroom. Who's in charge in the courtroom? It's not the judge. It's actually God. And I have watched that. I have watched that happen throughout time. And literally, oh, Life Path 22, that's my number. Literally, things are changing. And she's like, well, the victim's family is really aggressive. And I can understand how that would be scary to somebody who's, addicted to something. Obviously, it was a bit out of his control. I mean, I'm not saying that it was okay, but like the family, I feel really bad for the family. And, but at some point we're all going to have to accept what is. And what would him like sitting in jail for 10 years accomplish? It wouldn't bring the family's life back. And he could be out giving life. So, things are going to change for the better. We're going to change the systems, and it's just nothing to fear anymore. Okay, I promised you something. Let me really, really, really try to find it. So many pictures, you guys. I'd love to go through all of them with you. I think I've gone too far. But you know what? Now that I'm looking back at these colors, they're just as rich as they are now. I mean, the blue color that I'm seeing it's so saturated and so dark. I thought it was really intense.